Hey everyone, and welcome to the first part of our Lucifer interview with the executive producers. We will be talking about elements that have been released on promotional materials and on the teaser video, so if you're staying spoiler free, don't watch anymore. But after you've seen those and you've seen the season, continue to watch this video. And if you don't mind a few spoilers, well, hey, stick around. It's a great interview and they're absolutely brilliant. We will be having a second part where we'll be talking about future episodes of Season 5 and what could be happening with Season 6. But that'll be a few days after Lucifer Season 5 has aired. But that's enough from me. Let's get the interview going. Right, so guys, as you can see, I'm joined here with Joe and Ildy. Hi, thank you.
Thank you.
It's so exciting to see you again. So last time I saw you guys was in the UK at LuxCon, just before Season 4 aired. It feels like forever. And
It was a long time ago.
and now we're about to have Season 5A. How did the split come about? Was that a conscious decision, or was that something Netflix kind of put forward?
It came about because at first we were going to be a 10-episode season 5, and then a number of weeks into breaking the season, they were like, "What if we did 16 instead?" And the pitch being, because they'd done it with a couple other shows, I think Sabrina in particular, they did 8 and 8, and so at first we were like, wait, we have this beautiful 10-episode arc, and no, but like what usually happens for us on anything when we get thrown a curveball, what becomes a problem becomes a solution later, and all of a sudden we're like, wait, no, we have all of this story, of course, 16. And like, actually, I don't know if we've talked about this much, like when I was on like White Collar and all of those USA shows, we always did mid-season finales, so like I always loved them. And we would do something sort of, so we would do like end of fall season finales on Lucifer. But this was, I think, the first time that we've ever really done a true sort of
It's too many seasons, really. Let's be like.
True.
I used to love White Collar. I still watch it
Hey,
religiously.
thank you.
It's
Yeah,
great.
we used to have to do it because we would do like a fall season and a spring season. So you'd always want a cliffhanger that felt worthy of not necessarily a season finale, but big enough to come back for.
Because I remember interviewing Tiffany for one of the mid-season finales years ago.
Hey,
It's weird how it
that's
all
awesome.
comes together, isn't it?
Yeah, full circle.
Yeah, so I got 200 questions from fans, eager to kind of pick your brains. So I've had to try and pick through some of them that are relevant. And one of them, I'm just looking at my screen above here, is from Amelie. And it says, did it take you guys a long time to come up with the whole plot of this season, or did you already have an idea about it after season 4? That was Amelie.
All right.
Gosh, I can say we had one big part of it, which is actually more in season 5B than it is in season 5A. And so when we realized we had, like Joe was saying, when we went from 10 episodes to 16, we realized we needed to add another element. And that's when we came up with, I think it's not a spoiler because it's in the trailer, that's when we added Michael.
I think a lot of fans were asking for Michael as well, weren't they?
A few, yeah.
Yeah. And it's something we talked about a bunch too, and we had been playing with. I think he was on the table as a concept, but that's when we really leaned into him, and we're like, okay, this is going to give us a great antagonist for the first half, and there's an opportunity to really dig into all of that.
It looks like Tom, again, I'm being very careful what I say here, but I think it's in the trailer as well. Tom's accent has changed. Is that a conscious thing that you went with?
Very much. I mean, basically early on, Joe and I sat down with Tom and talked to him about Michael. First, we had to be like, you okay with working twice as much sometimes? And so that was the first part. And then he was, as always, more than gung-ho and excited and like, oh my gosh, I get to play somebody totally different. And then we started talking about the character, and it was really just a collaborative thing because obviously we're not going to go, hey, do a Russian accent and, just put something on him. It had to feel organic for him too. And we just knew the one prerequisite was that he be as just polar opposite of Lucifer as possible. And so everything kind of built off of that. We came up with like the internal differences first, and the personality, how the personalities differed, and then all the physical mannerisms kind of came after that.
Yeah.
The body language is very different as well, which is weird to pick up on, because usually you just think, oh, the voice and the acting, but there's actual body language as well. It's just totally different, which is really impressive.
Yeah, and so much of the fun of this is watching Tom show off what he can do. And Ildy and I talk about this a ton, but it's like Tom makes everything seem effortless. He makes everything seem easy, but it's so much work. And what's so great about Michael is you get to see him showing off in a completely different way, and you get to understand how much work he puts into it, how much is posture, how much is body language, how much is like, I've loved watching the fans look at screen grabs and be like, I think that's Michael, I think that's Lucifer, and they're picking up on the things that that Tom is actually doing, which is the very, very conscious choices he makes about how each character carries.
Yeah, they've been going very in depth, saying, well, he's wearing that shirt in that promo picture, and that's in the trailer. Like, it's
but
great.
Also,
the fans
he's
are
smiling in that way. Lucifer wouldn't smile that way. And listen, sometimes it's just happens to be a weird moment, but oftentimes it's like, no, you're right. That is a clue. That is a choice.
It's sometimes just in his eyes, I feel like I've said this before in some little interview somewhere, but we would watch him at table reads, because we read the scripts beforehand, just get the cast together and read it so we can all hear it and get a sense of the entire episode. And he would do entire scenes just with himself, like a schizophrenic or somebody with multi-personalities, you know what I mean? It was like, and it was so fascinating. It was like a class of acting, you know what I mean? Just to watch it. And I think I recorded a bit sneakily at some point. I'd have to get his permission, but I feel like I have to share it.
Just do it. Just do it.
Incredible.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant.
Don't ask permission, beg forgiveness.
Love that scene. And it's funny how that kind of leads into the next fan question I have, is by Bloge88. When cast members are in the writer's room, are they allowed to influence the story of their characters or some scenes? Are they given ideas for the story? Or in the scenes in the last seasons, were cast members given any idea what to do? How much kind of...
That's a great question.
I think what input do they have?
Yeah, so what we do every season is we spend a couple weeks figuring out what we think the arcs of the characters are going to be, and then we bring the cast in. So every season the cast comes into the room, and what we like to do is we try to have a sense of where we want to bring the characters, but also basically both have our actors absorb it, but also have input within it, because we like... As much as we write the entire show, they are the keepers of those characters. And it's important to respect that and value it, and also steal any great ideas they have and pretend that they were ours, which is very, very important. And so it's always this great experience that we love to do. We did it over Zoom this year. Ildy's been posting the photos of it. And, sometimes it's insights. Sometimes it's requests, things like the actors have always wanted to do, or things that they feel like the character should do. And sometimes it takes us a couple seasons to get to those moments. Sometimes it's stuff that we can address right away. Sometimes we'll tell them what the story of that we're planning is, and they're like, "Oh yeah, no, I love that the thing I want to do would step on that." But we always want to hear them out and always want to welcome them into our process.
Sometimes they have very funny, quirky little asks too. Like I remember Amy Garcia. It wasn't last season. I think it was the season before. She's like, I just want to wear a blue wig.
Yep.
Just, I don't know why. Maybe I'm going to a con. It's so funny, and we're like, okay.
We will get that blue wig in there.
Yeah, but it's just funny. Like sometimes there's just funny.
I noticed you guys like to try and do cameos as well, and there's one episode, it's very meta when we're talking about producers of a show and everything like that, and I could swear Joe, you were in that one. I don't know.
So it is not me. However, Jason Ning, one of our writers, pitched because I think what happens is you get like a list of like actors who can play it, and there was one that had a bald head and a beard, and Jason was like, "It has to be this guy. It has to be this guy because Joe, that's you." And so interpret as you will the frustration and annoyance of our writers towards me.
Yeah, Joe didn't read into that at all.
No, I didn't cry at night.
Do you not do this thing where writers have their like face on the wanted posters on the wall and stuff like that, just as a kind of little nod to everybody? Because I'd pay to do that. I'll pay to have my face on a wanted poster. It'd be good fun.
We do have people on our wanted posters.
Yeah, it's our crew mostly. It's our crew. It's a lot of people from our production office. Yeah, we try to like almost all of them are some like yeah, sound crews in like it's great.
Yeah.
I love that. It's absolutely brilliant. And now that on Netflix you have an hour, yous have kind of got those extra 20 minutes, and I've seen last season and this season that you've got more time for kind of the other characters to develop their storylines. So Maze's character building, Linda's character building. Is that a huge impact on season 5 again as well? Those characters going to get big storylines? Again, obviously got to be careful with spoilers.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's just that we are you calling us long-winded? Is that what you're trying to say? No, our episodes are a lot longer this season than they have been in the past. We just kept pushing it and pushing it and pushing it, and ended up almost every episode is like in the 60-minute range. And we apologize.
It's good. It's good. I like story development.
Episode's the only one under 50, and it is barely under 50. Yeah. And we're like, hey, look at us. And then by like episodes 5, like every episode is 55, 56, 57.
But what's funny is that we'd still end up cutting like 8 minutes out. I mean, we were just filming and getting so much more. And I think, but to your point, I think, you know, in having the 16 that's another thing we got from having 16 episodes instead of 10. We got to have bigger stories for all of our cast. We got to dig into each of them and give them something to really meaty to play. And if we hadn't had the real estate, we wouldn't have been able to do that. So.
And I think also to that point, I think the more emotional stories just they play longer. Like banter, you burn through banter really quick, but one of the things season 5 does is dig into so much emotion, and that ends up with chubbier episodes.
It's worked well. It's because, like say, character development storyline is so important. And in regards to storyline, one of the people on Twitter, Veronica's asked, what episode was the biggest gamble in terms of being able to realise exactly what you wanted for season 5A? What was the biggest gamble?
Oh, that's a good one. I mean, one of them might be, I would argue, is well, I don't want to tease it. How do we tease it?
Was pretty crazy.
Yeah, you're right.
That's the obvious one, but and something everybody knows about. So I think
there it is.
But that would not have happened full show if we had not had 16 episodes. But it came on the first day we found out we were going to have 16 episodes. That came like almost fully fleshed out.
Yep.
So it sort of fell out of everybody. But gamble.
I'd say the other gamble with just a tease was 502.
Oh, mm-hmm. All right. Mm-hmm.
We'll leave it at that. You'll see why.
Well, 502 is my favourite of the lot. I absolutely loved it. It also has my new favourite song in it as well. All I'm going to say is vending machine. I think we can get away with that. Love that. That is just one of my favourite scenes, and I love that song. Again, got to be very careful, but I think we can get away saying vending machine. Just that's okay. Brilliant. Okay, brilliant.
And I think you put that in one of your little teases.
I did, yeah.
I remember.
We were talking about the teases before we started, and I love them, and I know Ildy, you too. It's just so much fun, and it is that weird game of like, wait, what does that mean? What is that?
Like, you're looking at them going, I wrote that episode and I'm not sure.
Exactly, but it's funny because this is all so long ago for us. Like we're halfway through breaking season 6 right now, and it feels like, season 5A is a season 5B is a season. We're like three seasons later in a weird way, and so we're dying for people to watch these episodes so that they can catch up, so that we can talk about them because we love them. But
Well,
it's been so long.
To finish this first part, because there's going to be a 2-part video, how can you best tease 5A for those watching, ready for August 21st on Netflix?
Oh, Ildy's got a tease ready. I love putting her on the spot.
Yeah, Ildy, come on.
Gosh, a tease for 5A.
Double the Tom Ellis, double the fun, 4 times the emotion, 10 times the heartbreak.
There you go.
I'd definitely go with emotion. I think Leslie and Rachel have nailed it this first part. Like, there's a lot of wow moments with them.
Amy's story's pretty kind of kills me.
Yeah, one of the things that we really wanted to do is just emotionally destroy our characters. I say flip, but I also mean it in as much as that, like, we wanted to test their strength and show how strong they are through it, and that's one of the things you do is you put your characters through hell and have them step forth and show their mettle, and that is very much what season 5 is for all of these characters.
I also think you're gonna laugh harder than you have sometimes. I think this season and the second half also scratches kind of every itch.
I think Kevin kind of nails some of the comedy. Episode 4, I'll just say comedy-wise, up there with Kevin.
It's so good.
I mean, he's like, it's so funny how the actors start to like sit on your shoulder and tell you what to do. Like the fact that we've tortured poor Detective Dan Douche is all because his delivery and the way he handles being tortured is so funny. We just can't get enough.
Well, and in particular for episode 4, I remember when we did the table read and Dan and Kevin came in with his version of that character from the noir, and just the entire room was just shitting themselves in laughter.
It really was funny.
It was amazing.
That those I can share.
Because he made a choice, and everyone made a choice, and that's what was so cool about that episode is you see these actors being able to flex a little bit and show off what they can do, and it was incredible.
And that's probably the perfect tease to end this part. Ready for part 2 after everyone has seen season 5A.
See you guys then.
Bye.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and also hit that bell so you can get alerts on content that is personalised for you. You can also check out some of our latest videos just over here. So go on, give it a click. Takes 2 seconds. Might be worth it. I hope.